Hey, what's up guys, this is Ultar here and welcome to my video of top 10 scandals in WWE history. Alright, so let's start with number 10, Jerry Lawler alleged rape and domestic violence. We all remember Jerry King Lawler from the Attitude Era, where he was a funny sidekick to JR's serious play-by-play style. Yeah, he was known as a person who loved puppies, and I'm not talking about the dog kind. Back in '93, Lawler was charged with rape of a 13-year-old girl, but the charges eventually dropped. It would not be the last time he would get into trouble, because in 2016 he and his girlfriend had an argument which led to fighting and some more charges for the King. This was actually the final straw, as the King has been seen less and less on WWE TV. I remember they put him on the kickoff shows of pay-per-views, but since then he and Lita has gone from the company, I think, and replaced by other younger, other people. Number 9 is Haku, who is a dangerous man. So let's start by saying that Haku is one of the most dangerous persons in WWE history. He was known for biting the nose off a guy who said wrestling's fake. Haku even confirmed the story was true. Now imagine if that would happen in today's PG era. Thank you, Haku, for the stories. Number 8, we have Big Show, who exposes himself. Yeah, alright, this is pretty tame for a scandal, but the story is pretty funny. In 1998, when Big Show was still in WCW, he was arrested for exposing himself to a motel employee. Now what the hell did that employee think when they saw that mountain without clothes? It must really be some nightmare fuel. Number 7, we have Stone Cold domestic abuse. Yeah, this is pretty horrific. Stone Cold's ex-wife, who has also worked in WWE as a valet, Deborah, she accused Austin of beating her while both were in WWE. She has said in an interview later that WWE knew what was going on, but they just covered it up because they wanted to protect their biggest star. Now, we don't know if this is true or not, but it's pretty horrible. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about this. There have been a lot of rumors that Austin beat his wife. Now, if it is true and WWE protected it, it's gonna come out sooner or later. Number 6, we have the plane ride from hell. Alright, I think most of you have heard about this. It was in 2002 and a plane ride that would change the life of many. So it was the entire Raw locker room in the plane, a lot of booze, a lot of drugs. Brock Lesnar and Mr. Perfect were wrestling, almost knocking the door out of the plane. Ric Flair was exposing himself, walking around in his robe, nothing under. Goldust was trying to get his ex-wife Terry Runnels back, which I think he harassed her or something. It eventually led to his release. Mr. Perfect was also let go for starting his fight with Lesnar. Number 5, we have the Jimmy Snuka murder case. In 1983, Jimmy Snuka's then girlfriend Nancy was found dead in a motel room. Snuka was a person of interest by the police, but meanwhile he was a big draw for WWE during that time. Now, Snuka was never convicted for the crime, but in 2014 the case was opened again and Snuka was thrown back into the limelight. Yeah, the case is still pending, so we should wait for the conclusion, but Snuka is not feeling so well right now. So we shall see how the case goes. Hopefully the truth will come out. Number 4, we have Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon. Now, Macho Man Randy Savage is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He had great success in the 80s and the early 90s. But in the mid-90s something changed. Randy was sent back to the announce desk, even though he wanted to wrestle. There were rumors that Randy had an affair with then 15-year-old Stephanie. So after he went to WCW the following year, he wasn't mentioned by WWE again until 2015, when he was included into the WWE Hall of Fame, which was long overdue, mind you. So maybe Stephanie will clear out the air in her autobiography released soon, I think, hopefully. hopefully soon. I want to read it. But yeah, as the Stone Cold story, this is a rumor that has been talked about for ages. I want to know the truth, of course. Number 3, we had the Montreal Screwjob. Bret Hart, my favorite wrestler of all time, enjoyed great success in WWE and was a proud champion in 1997. He had decided to go to WCW because he signed a lucrative contract with the company. He would face Shawn Michaels, and the Screwjob happened. Shawn locked Bret in his own iconic submission, the sharpshooter, and the bell rang without Bret tapping. Yeah, it was a betrayal of Bret, one of the longest and most popular servants of WWE at the time. In the 90s and 80s, of course, he was a big draw for the company. He was the most popular, except for Hogan, of course. He would spend 2 years in WCW before he had to retire, and it would take over 10 years before he stepped in a WWE ring again, becoming US champion also. Number 2, it's the steroid trial. In the 80s and early 90s, WWE wrestlers were huge and juiced up, and those wrestlers have admitted that they used steroids to become large. According to prosecutors, Vince McMahon deserved up to 8 years in prison for his role in the steroid scandal. He let a doctor hand out steroids to wrestlers to make them jacked, and the trial was very sloppy and he got away with it. Now, if he would be arrested, how would WWE look today? How would wrestling look today? Yeah, it's funny to think about, but yeah, there are many wrestlers who have passed away because of all the steroids. So it's a huge controversy still today. Number 1, we have the Chris Benoit tragedy. Chris Benoit was a well-respected wrestler with over 20 years in the business, working all over the world and winning countless championships. In June of 2007, he murdered his wife and son and then committed suicide. People have since tried to understand why he did it. Maybe it was drugs, maybe it was the countless head and neck injuries he sustained. Whatever the reason, it is still the biggest scandal in WWE history. Now I know that Chris was depressed because he lost his friend Eddie Guerrero 2 years earlier. He died very old, very young, and yeah, he was depressed. He was taking drugs. I think he was addicted to painkillers, and all the neck and head injuries he has taken over the years would mess him up really. But it's very tragic and still the biggest scandal in wrestling history. Well, alright, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and you have a nice day.